And welcome to Jenny Girl's Closet. My name is Jenny Walker, and this is my brand new YouTube channel where I talk all about consignment and reselling and styling and the retail industry in general. Now, I got my really big hair today. I did this, you know how they say in Texas, the bigger the hair, the closer to God. So it is what it is today. So anyway, yeah, I just want to say hello to everyone who's here. All 0 of you. Actually, I saw one person who had come in. So my channel's growing. I had one person waiting for me to go live. I mean, that is how it starts, with just one, as they say. So yeah, had a good time today sourcing. Went to Goodwill bins and to Out of the Closet in Pasadena and the Goodwill bins in LA, and had a good time. You know, it's just, I go with 2 other people. It's just fun to hang out. I mean, we could be doing anything like watching a movie or whatever, but we just happen to be ticking around looking for cool stuff. So, hold on one second. I'm going to power up my laptop so it doesn't shut off in all of this. So hold on one second. You don't even want to know where the cord just went. This is not a pretty thing. Oh. Due to technical difficulties, we will be right back. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. So this setting is not ideal because what I end up doing is every time I do this, I move my computer and laptop from another area of where I live into this section. And so I'm always having to kind of get set up. So anyway, welcome. So I want to show you some of the cool stuff that I got today at the bins and Out of the Closet. This was not a very good bins day, and it was really frustrating because something wrong with them, but they're not super special the way I like to buy. I did find better stuff at Out of the Closet today, although I got all this pounds of stuff, bags and bags from Goodwill for the same price as just a few garments at Out of the Closet. So what are you going to do? So yeah, so let me get started and show you a little bit about what I found today. So hold on. So I think I'm going to start with Out of the Closet first. You know, their famous pink bag. So I was really lucky because everything I bought, everything but one thing was new with tags today at Out of the Closet, and I really like that. You know, they get, you know, the local donations, and then they get delivery trucks that bring them donations from like a more central area. And I think a lot of times these the local donations are better. Not that I know which one it is, but you know, you can really get some good stuff in there sometimes. But anyway, so this is the pretty popular brand called Rachel Pally, and a lot of celebrities like this brand, Rachel Pally, and this is new with tags, as you can see, Rachel Pally, and this was $8 and 15% off, so like $6 and something for this. It's a nice little basic jersey dress. It's black with a mock collar, just one of those straight body hugging dresses that basically goes all the way to the ground. I mean, we all know what these look like. It's basically like wearing a turtleneck dress where it just clings all over. So young women with really good figures will be flattered by this kind of design, new with tags. So yeah. Now I love black, and you'll know that I have a lot of black in my eBay store and in my Poshmark closet. So I was really happy to find that. Next, I have a new with tags BB Dakota dress, and this is perfect for summer and spring and Easter. This is BB Dakota. It's just a nice little strapless lace, really thick lace dress with a nice big, you know, A-line shape to it. This is the brand. This is a size 2 BB Dakota. And this cost me $10 and 15% off, so about $8.50 for this. And to me, $8.50 for this very substantial dress is a good price. I'll definitely be making some money on that. This is the one piece I bought that was not new at tags. This is a really popular brand, Ted Baker. This is an English brand, and there we go. I once heard this described as what your aunt would wear to your cousin's wedding, or something like that. This beautiful blue with black leather inserts at the top with a little peplum. And it's got an exposed zipper in the back in gold. And you can see it has a little design on it, T for Ted Baker. That's the back. Yeah, I mean, this is a really, really cute dress. Perfect for, many occasions. You could go to a religious ceremony. You could go to a wedding in this. Date night, although it's kind of conservative for that. You could do that. So I picked that up today. This piece is another new with tags. I got it out of the closet. This is another English brand, Reiss, Reese. This one's new with tags. This was out of the closet for $5 and then 15% off. It's a beautiful white, kind of cut velvety. It's not velvet, but it's cut. It's like a cut design in there with a nice little placket here, just a little simple gold button at the top. And this is perfect for dressing up or dressing down. You can wear this to work as a career piece. And this one is the last one I got from out of the closet. This is a new at tags by HD in Paris, which is an Anthropologie brand. It's got the tags on it. It says Anthropologie, and original was $118. It's a size 14. I paid $10 and 15% off, so $8.50 for this. Absolutely blue, gorgeous blue lace blouse, almost like a bell shape, like an A-line at the bottom. This is beautiful piece, perfect for spring and going into summer with a little bit of color. It's not black, yay! So I was happy about that. So that was out of the closet. That was quick. Now, what I got at the Goodwill bins will take a little longer to go through. And it's a really weird mix of stuff today because that's how it is at the bins. It's a weird mix of stuff over there. So I'm going to show you what I got. And it did fall on the floor, so I do have to bend down in order to get it, unfortunately. But I'm going to start with one of the weird things that I got. So this is, these are what you call remnants of fabric. And this is silk. And the print is ridiculously cool. And I don't really buy fabric, but when I saw this, I just couldn't help myself. And it's super, super sheer, and it's super long. It's got a real 60s, 70s vibe to it, with these really cool flowers in it. There are two humongous pieces of this. And I actually have a friend whose mother-in-law only sells fabric remnants on eBay. That's all she sells. So I know somebody somewhere is going to want this. I can't figure out what they're going to use it for. It's like the entire freaking bolt of fabric here, but like a really skinny piece. So I don't know. I don't know what to do with this, but it's just cool. And so at the bins, I mean, this probably cost me $2 for all of this. So I have not measured it, but it's super, super cool. Let me put it back so you can see more of the colors. Just some really fascinating silk crepe fabric, and hopefully someone will want this because I thought it was super cool. And I'm not one to buy fabric, but who can leave that behind? So next, I have a really interesting pair of Topshop shorts. They're pink with little bows on them. They're a sheer polyester crepe. Just a nice little zipper in the back, and they have pockets in the front. So, yeah. Topshop's a really popular brand for resale. This one is a size 10. It's just a nice size. And, yeah, it's perfect for spring, summer, April showers and May flowers. Yeah, absolutely perfect. Now this piece I got because it'd be really, really hard to leave this behind. But this is a designer piece by Gianfranco Ferré. Now, he is no longer alive, this gentleman. He's German. I think he's German. Or I might be confusing with someone else. Anyway, this is the white line. This is size 46, and these are silk pants. And they're like a cream color with hot pink stripes in them. And it's got all the nubby silk in it, and they look like they're brand new and never worn. However, it looks like somebody had them on a mannequin, you know, where this is out in the back. So it's right at the seam. So I will pay to get those repaired because these are designer pants made in Italy. And they're really perfect for summer. And they seem to have no flaws other than the seam out in the back. So yeah, I was really excited to find those. So this I found just the silk scarf. This is not a brand I have ever owned, but I know that people like this brand. It's called Hail Bob. This beautiful silk print scarf. It's really big and substantial. It's 100% silk. And this is a nice, here's the logo here, Hail Bob. I have it backwards, Hail Bob. I don't know if I'm looking in a mirror or what. So yeah, beautiful, beautiful color scheme. Again, doesn't weigh much. It's probably a quarter to pay for that at the bins. This is something I found at the last minute. I do need to get this cleaned, but it's a really good piece by the brand COS, C-O-S. It's perfect for summer. I've got to get the label fixed on. I got to clean this up, but it's a really cute, simple cotton jacket. Obviously, this is coming right out of the bag, so it's wadded up. But it's just got the classic, you know, button design. This would be so cute for summer with some white shorts or some white skinny jeans in a nice pop of color. So this is the tag, COS, C-O-S, right there. And I will get that sewn on. I have a dry cleaner that I work with here locally for not only my store, but for the consignment shop. And we get a really good deal on alterations, repairs, and dry cleaning. So I like to go them. They're called Oak Knoll Cleaners. So this is just a real basic. I got it because people do like this brand and it's a good size. This is White House Black Market, size 14. It's just a classic black skirt, but it has a twist. Can you see the twist? The twist is, you cannot see it. This ruffle, you can't even see it because of the black. It's got a ruffle, trust me, all the way down the side. Take my word for it because the camera is not showing you today. Just an A-line black career skirt, perfect for work with a nice little silk blouse, like the white blouse I showed earlier would be perfect. This is something I picked up at the last minute and I just threw it in, and I am actually hoping that this fits me. It's called Universal Thread. It's just a simple little blue sundress with pockets. So if it doesn't fit me, because blue is my color, I'll just sell it. This brand is not expensive. Universal Threads, but you know, I probably paid 75 cents for this at the bins. So it's nice to take a chance on that. We'll see what happens, see how it goes. This is really fun, rocker tee. It's by Bob Marley. Well, not by Bob Marley, but you know, the famous print, Marley print. So this is great, like with some white jeans or some shorts for summer. It's like, you know, got cut at the neck. This is a Zion Roots wear, so it looks to be officially licensed, which is always nice with these tees. And another, oh wow, it's really ripped in the back. Well, it's got extra rips, man. It's got rips everywhere. So that one I may not be able to sell, but we'll see. Now, this is half of a swimsuit. I don't know where the other half is. I hope it made it into the. I hope it made it. By Oakley. It's a black swimsuit top, and it is a bikini. There is a bottom to this. I don't know if it made it home with me. Here's a little Oakley name on there. Just a classic little black bikini. That's all this is. Perfect for summer. We are here in California, which is, beach city, USA. So yeah, just a classic halter beach top. And I'm hoping the bottom's in here somewhere. We'll see. This is something really interesting. The girl that was with me found this for me. This is just super funky, and this needs a lot of cleaning. I mean, this thing is, I don't know where it's been, but this is just, it's called Scarface. I do not know if it can be cleaned. It's really, really, really bad, but if it can, then I'm really hopeful on that. This is the back. And so the front has the Scarface image. It's got super funky like pocket things. So if it can be cleaned, I can sell it. If it cannot be cleaned, I will not be able to sell it. That's just the way it is. Because I know working with clothes, sometimes you can get the smell out and sometimes you can't. And that one is definitely, I don't know where it's been. Maybe they dug it out of Scarface's grave. I don't know. This thing is messed up. Let's see who's here in the chat. We have Key Lime Kisses saying hello and keeping my mouth shut so you don't go over on your time. You know what? Because I haven't really done this. I have so much to say that I feel sure I will go over my time, even if you don't. If you do, you don't say anything. But I appreciate you being active in the chat, though. I like that. Good evening. It's Aged Goodness. How are you? It's a pleasure to have you here. Thank you so much for supporting my channel when I go through my mini haul from the Goodwill bins. I really appreciate it. So I sell a lot of, I guess, Asian clothing, like Chinese traditional costumes. And so this is a little shirt that I got today, which is in keeping with other pieces that I have in my closet. It's just the classic little top. And I sell a lot of the fitted dresses all the time. And I thought this would be a great addition to my closet. Is this really cute one in red. It's a nice little tiny size, so hopefully somebody will find that interesting. So this is something that I bought that's damaged, meaning it's got to be cleaned, but this is perfectly the kind of thing I would buy, and it's totally my girl, so I was willing to take a chance. So this is really cool piece with little studs all over it. It says it can be hand washed, but we'll see. This is by Endless Rose. I have no idea if I can fix it up. It's got stains on it, but I'm willing to try because it's such an interesting piece. And my girl loves studs. She loves bling, and she loves to stand out, so we'll see. I collect all things Asian. Well, you should go check out my Poshmark store. I have probably 6 or 8 dresses in there. I have a men's robe. I have this shirt that I'll be listing soon. Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of cool. This is something I threw in at the very last minute. It's a J. Jill velvet vest. You can't see it. Sorry about the lighting. And the back is like satin in the back. So it's basically like a draped front, one button velvet vest. And then the back is satin. And this is by J. Jill. And this is really cool. And in the back, it's attached with just safety pin. Nice. I sell a lot of tuxedo style pieces, whether they're jackets or dresses. So I feel really good about this piece. You know, J. Jill is a brand for eBay. I have not been able to sell any J. Jill on Poshmark, so we'll see what happens. This is something that I bought for myself because, you know, when you're at the bins, and I was just looking for something casual to wear. It actually matched what I wore. I wore to the bins some camouflage pants, so I found this DKNY shirt camo top for myself. Just an olive green I'm gonna wash that up and see how that goes. Oh, I found the bottom to the swimsuit. This is awesome. So this is Oakley. This is the bottom. Just your classic. What I don't know is if I can sell it or not because it doesn't have plastic on the bottom. So I have to do some research. I don't know if any of y'all have any experience selling swimsuits, but let me know if you have any idea on that. Thanks so much. Okay. This is a shirt I bought for myself. I know that's not as exciting. I just want some little, this is just an Old Navy, just a little jersey top in green, just for summer. It has to be washed. I bought that for me. I mean, just so that I have something like to wear to the bins or to wear out casual. So I took a chance on these. I don't know anything about Levi's other than Orange Tab is good and Big E is good. Other than that, I don't know much about it. But this Levi Strauss tag looked a little different. It was kind of silvery. And in the pocket, it had some information stamped in about, 135 years. But these are super distressed, which people love, with a lot of, areas that have been sewn. I have no idea if they came this way or not. I have to look up a little bit on these, but just because they were different, I got them. That was the only reason. I did not need to buy these. This is not my girl. But, a lot of times because I'm trying to learn about denim, short of asking all the people in the bins why they pick certain denim or not. And there's a lot of denim people there, a couple of guys who only ship to Japan, and they're looking for very specific things. And I haven't had a chance to really talk to any of them yet, but that's on my list because I want to know what they know. So we'll see. This is a Zara top. Actually, it's like a jacket. It's got like a little zipper up there and these little detail on the sleeves. It's really cool. Just a nice little summer jacket, like oversized. It's Mark. And so that's why I wanted to buy this and just to give it a shot and just see what would happen. It's super cute. Zach Silver Labels. And what does that mean if that's what that is? Can you tell me? Because I don't know what that means. So I also got, because I do boxing, I work out with boxing. I got just a little something for me, a little Puma, little top to work out in. That's all this is. I'm not going to sell. It'll just be for me. Let's see what else I got. Could that be everything? I don't think so. Hold on. Let me check. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Got a pair of Free People shorts, like cutoffs. I'm going to wash those up. That's a We the Free, and they've got the little button fly here. So this is something that's got to get washed, and then I can sell that. After discovering the bins, and I no longer buy shorts anywhere else, because why would you spend $5.49 on a pair of shorts when you can spend 49 cents on a pair of shorts at the bins? It just doesn't make sense for resale. And I'm not trying to buy shorts. There's not a lot of money when you sell something for $15 or $20 anyway. But it is nice to kind of have options in my closet so that I have things at different price points. And for someone who wants to maybe put together a summer outfit, they've got a pair of shorts they can throw in there. I'm thinking I'm looking everywhere, and I think that's all that was in my haul. I mean, like I said, I didn't find that much. I only spent like $25 at the bins. There really wasn't much there, and I was really disappointed because I always go and have such high hopes, but I just didn't find it today. So what are you going to do? I put back a lot of stuff. It's really hard when you're sourcing to stay focused. Although there's a lot of these professional resellers in the bins who have it down to a science. They know exactly what they're looking for, and that is the only thing they look for while they're there. And I admire that kind of focus. I think that's terrific. It's one of the brands, but I see the back pockets. Do you have a flap or not? It Is all of this from the Goodwill bins? Age goodness, yes. All of this is from the Goodwill bins. I did show some things earlier that were from out of the closet. I don't know if you saw those things, all those new tag things. But yeah, this is all from the bins. Now behind me certainly isn't from the bins. This is a Moschino strapless dress. This is vintage, something that I sourced because I'm a vintage Moschino collector and stylist. And so this particular piece back here is a really amazing strapless dress. It has leather buckles down the side. So that's like more of a stylist piece. And then one other thing I'll show you. If we can come over. You can see I organized this so well. These pants, you don't know if you can see the side. They've got black satin all the way down the side and the button. And these are plaid. These are also wool. These are Moschino as well. They've got zippers at the bottom. So when people are looking for really funky things for photo shoots and things like that, plaid is one of the things that people like because it shows up well on camera and on video. And when you're styling, you have to factor in a lot of things, and you try to stay away from the color black as much as possible. So that's kind of what that's about. Let me go back to the jeans. So silver tab. So this is the back of the jeans. It has a pocket like this. And the little Levi's is kind of upside down. I have an upside down Levi's. I don't know what that means. It's like upside down. And then the other side is almost unwritten. It says silver? No. Is that silver? Levi's silver? I think that might be what it says. They might be 514s. Well, let's check on the inside and see if it says 514. Let's see. If it is a 514, what does that mean? I don't see a 5 anything. It's got a little story on the inside. We have a little conversation going on. 514. Yeah, it's a 514. Now, how did you know that? Yes, it's a 514. So what does that mean? Key lime kisses. Tell me the significance. It says 514 right here. Is that good? Tell me it's good. Let's see who's joined us. Lynn B. Hi, Lynn. Thank you for joining in the chat. It's great hearing from you. Appreciate you being here. They're 514 because they have a flap on the pocket. So is there anything particularly special about these? Should I have thrown these back? Because I just got them. I didn't really know. They just were kind of interesting. You know, I'm trying to learn about denim, and I think the only way to do it is to buy some things and see what happens, you know. Try to educate yourself. So, yeah. Who else is here? Hi, aged. How you feeling? Okay, looks like all y'all know each other. Well, that's fantastic. So I got to tell you what happened today. Hold on one second. So when I got back from the events, I was talking to the young woman who works with me and who's also a reseller, and we were asking ourselves about how beneficial it was to go to the bins. And never throw out Levi's. Okay. Because I have so much inventory right now that is not listed. I have a lot of specialty inventory that's in my showroom only that I don't have online anywhere and don't really plan to put it up there just yet. But there's no shortage of inventory that I have right now. And so we were talking and I said, look, you know, it would make more sense if we didn't go to the bins at all for the next 2 weeks. And we were completely focused on getting all the inventory cross-listed on eBay and Poshmark. We also have an inventory sheet that we're maintaining that basically says where things are listed and at what price and what they were paid for and where they came from, things like that. But part of the reason is that when I think about ways to grow my closet and ways to generate more income, the way to do that is to list more items. And so if you look at these people who are making an extraordinary amount of money each month, they have thousands of listings, like 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 listings. And so And when you have that many things to choose from, of course you're going to make a lot of sales and enough to keep that cash flowing. And it really becomes, people can only pick from what they have to choose from, right? So whatever you've put in your closet is the only thing that they have from which to make a decision to purchase from you. So to me, adding more choices sounds like a better use of time than continuing to source, because you will always, always potentially find something when you go out. And a way to control that and a way to kind of rein that in is to just not go. And not go until everything is listed, what you have. So that is something that we are going to put into practice for 2 weeks. 2 weeks of no sourcing. We'll see how that goes. Did you get to see one of the resellers here on YouTube? Kind of in front. Yeah, I did. Was that the one that was like raised? There was something like, had some sort of raised lettering on it. I did see that. I think that's fantastic. There's always something out there. I mean, there's always the potential to find something. But I know for me, at this point, I have so much inventory that's not listed that I just can't go sourcing anymore. I just can't. And so I'm going to challenge myself to instead get on top of the things that I have and get them better organized to see if that won't generate some more sales. I did add a few things to my eBay store recently, and I saw a difference right away. My eBay store used to have 1,000 listings in it, and now I'm at around 500. And that's simply because for over a year, I was focused on putting inventory on Poshmark instead of eBay. And so whenever you quit paying attention to one platform, it's going to suffer. However, eBay is the platform that's global. And I sold something today to someone in Japan. And, Poshmark just isn't global yet, and they will become global. That is their goal. But I need to maximize my revenue and sales now. I can't kind of wait. Can't wait for Poshmark to get all over the world, right? So I think it's really important to be on other platforms that are global, like an Etsy, like a Visteria Collective, like an eBay, in order to get as many eyeballs as possible on the merchandise that you have. I did have something else I wanted to show you. I just remembered, where are my really cool paint splatter jeans? Hold on, let me see if I can find them. Okay, that's a big no. Maybe they're over here. Hold on. Now, this is disappointing, I must say. And this is one of the things about the bins that really, absolutely makes me crazy, is that every time when we check out, there always is this huge, hurry up, we got to get out of here. I'm going through all my things. I'm purging. I'm trying to put back what I don't want and keep what I do want. And I'm like, got all this stuff, and I don't even have my favorite pair of jeans that I found today, which were paint splatter Sean Johns. So that's disappointing. But again, got to pay attention here at the bins. Let's see who's here. Rebecca, hi, how are you? Welcome. So glad you joined in the chat today. Hey, I finally learned that just because someone's in the chat does not mean they're not watching. So that was something I learned today. I thought the number up here was only people who were watching, but apparently that's not the case. So I'm really excited to learn that. So yeah, part of the issue in sourcing at the bins is, this is not, when you find something really special, it's like a happy accident. It's like really searching for buried treasure. I think that you have to keep it in perspective. I think it's fine to supplement other places. But for me and for what I do, it's not a place I could go to and that be the only resource for me. Because when you're trying to find really special things like these vintage Moschino pieces behind me, you're not going to find that at the bins. I more likely would find that at a consignment shop. And consignment shops are one of the best places I have found to source because most of them are not online. Our consignment shop is a little bit different because 100% of our inventory is on eBay. We've just opened up a Poshmark store, and we've just put our first listings up on StockX tonight. So we're doing everything we can to put attention on our inventory, but a lot of brick and mortar stores aren't set up for that yet. And so they're little treasure troves of places you can go, especially the clearance rack. I have found so many amazing things on the clearance rack of other consignment shops because, again, they've been limited to the foot traffic in their community, and they don't have a global set of eyes on what they have for sale. And so as long as stores are not online, they're going to be treasure troves for people like me who are looking for really good pieces to resell. You know, plaid is just something else. So I love plaid. I think it's really interesting and it's timeless. And, you know, plaid kind of comes in and out of favor, although it's always in, you just don't see it. And right now there's a big 90s revival, and plaid was really big in the 90s. And so you're seeing a lot more of it. These pieces are vintage, so you can't look at those in terms of what's on the market now, as in this isn't current stock that happens to be plaid. But going vintage, you can find a lot of good plaid out there. And I think it's something that always sells for me in terms of sourcing, no matter who makes it, whether it's a Pendleton or, you know, a White House Black Market. Plaid really seems to resonate with people because it's classic. It is a classic. Plaid is always relevant, whether you're wearing it or not. And if it were me, I would put this red strapless dress over like a white shirt or a tank top, you know, kind of like what Madonna used to do. And these pants here, I would put with a black turtleneck and maybe just a fitted blazer or something like that. Aged goodness, I am in Pasadena, California, which is in LA County, Los Angeles. So it's basically the next town over. It's its own town, Pasadena. Pasadena is not Los Angeles. It is basically rubbing elbows with LA and in the same county. Although I'm not from this part of the country at all. I'm from Texas, 2 hours north of Sacramento here. Terrific. I was just watching tonight before I came on live this TV show, Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, that takes place in West Covina. And I thought that was so funny because I've never even heard of West Covina. And here I am out here, we're in the same county, and they've got this hit show, and it's pretty funny. Oh, yeah, Pasadena. I moved here from New York City, and can I tell you, it's kind of different. It's so different, I don't even know where to start. I mean, really, it is extraordinarily different. I'm going to let y'all admire these plaid pieces right here because I got something going on over here I have to check on, but I'll be right back. Hold on. Okay. I hope everyone admired the dresses while I was gone. Let's see. I've never been to the East Coast. I'd love to know what some of the differences are if you care to share. Do you think you'll ever move back to NYC? I think about moving back every day. How's that for an answer? Absolutely, I think about moving back. Have you ever been on the East Coast? I'd love to know. You've never, you know, well, there's a lot of differences. I don't know if you mean like sourcing or just lifestyle, but you know, the whole it's very laid back here, and when you get used to the density and the energy of the city, New York, it really feels like you're pretty much in a coma out here. It's such a different lifestyle. I can't even tell you. Like New York is a lifestyle, and it is not. You can't compare it to anything else. And I lived there for 16 years, and so this is entirely different lifestyle. But my life's good out here, so don't get me wrong. It's good. To me, the ideal thing would be able to go back to New York as often as I would like. And that's something I'm working on is getting back to New York and visiting friends and doing some things for the business out there, sourcing and developing our business for the New York City market. But full-time living right now, in this two-bedroom that I'm in, it is, I could not afford this in New York City. I mean, you'd have to be like a millionaire, I think, to rent something this size there. It is so expensive to live there. And the quality of life in Pasadena is so much better than New York City for the income level that I'm at. It's there are trade-offs, and so I don't, I do think about going back, moving back, but I more think about going back and visiting and enjoying the city, and just using it as an opportunity to expand my business. It does cost an arm and a leg, but I'll tell you what, it is expensive, but listen to this, it's not as expensive as you think. And the reason I say that is because most people do not have an automobile. You don't have auto insurance. You don't have a car payment. You don't have car insurance payment. You don't have gas. You don't have maintenance. You don't have car tags. Because there is no car expense for the average person in New York who's using public transportation, if you take that money you'd normally spend on your car and you put it in the money you would spend on your rent, you can see how, it might even itself out. Now, everything is more expensive because the rent is more expensive. And so things like grocery stores have to pass those expenses on to you. So like the same box of cereal at Trader Joe's for $2, if you get like a name brand box of cereal, it's $6. $6 in a regular grocery store. So what I learned to do is I would buy certain things at Trader Joe's and certain things at Whole Foods and certain things at Bodega on the corner. But you learn how to save money in the city. The coolest thing about being in New York City is that, so much is free. And there's so many choices. Like every single weekend, if you were to go online and say, well, what was happening in New York City, there would just be hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands, of things you could choose from in every borough there. So there's never a dull moment. The Central Park is free. There are a lot of free concerts everywhere. They've got free markets you can walk through. I mean, just, there's so much of the city. The city in and of itself is the event, right? When you go out your door and you walk into New York City, it's all right there. You have museums everywhere. And there's something that I learned when I first got there is that a lot of museums say the donation is $20, but it says suggested. So that means you can give a penny and still get in to the museum because it's a suggested donation. It's not a ticket price. And so you can go like to the Metropolitan Museum and just pay a penny and walk in there. Like you don't even have to spend $20 if you don't want. So those are little things you learn, tips and tricks when you live in the city about how to save money and, to use that money for something else like rent. Trader Joe's is the best. It was unfortunate that the Trader Joe's nearest me was not very near. And because I didn't have a car, I was in the grocery store all the time, like always buying, like was buying every single day food. I wouldn't buy like a month's worth and then just keep it. You would just buy all the time, like fresh food over and over again. So I was always in the grocery store. And because I had to carry the groceries, I wasn't going to buy more than was comfortable to carry. So, yeah. And at one point, I really was the little old lady from Pasadena at one point in New York, where I had that little cart that you push with the wheels on it. And I'd put my groceries in there and I'd just push it home. And, and the reason people do that is just practical because, how are they going to get the groceries home? I mean, you can pay to have them delivered. But again, when you're trying to save money in the city, you don't want to add delivery expense onto your bill if you don't have to. So that's kind of why people avoid that. So do any of y'all have any questions? Up here. Well, where are you, aged goodness? What part of the country are you in? I'm not sure where you are. If you will let me know, I would love to know where you are, aged goodness. Lynn B, yes, the city has a lot of things as northern kids, but not so much. 2 hours north of Sacramento. Terrific. So yeah, New York City sourcing is amazing. It's kind of interesting. I was sourcing when I was living in New York City, but I was not a full-time reseller, and I did not own a consignment shop during my years of sourcing. And one of the really neat things about sourcing in New York is you have what's called New York sample sales. And these sample sales are ridiculous. I mean, I bought a Kritsia fur coat for $125. I sold for about $1,400 on eBay. And, a lot of these people, it's like you don't know where this stuff comes from, You get an Italian brand like Kritsia, and 4 years ago, they were having a sample sale. Well, that brand went out more than 4 years ago. And I don't know what year they went out, but let's say they went out 8 years ago. So what is somebody doing it's a brand that went out 8 years ago and they've got stock from that and it's now 4 years later. It's like, well, where's it been all this time? And how did this sample sale get a hold of it? What are they doing with it? Like, it's kind of a head scratcher where this stuff comes from. But if you don't worry about where it comes from and just hope that it's legal, I was buying designer clothes for almost nothing. I mean, like $20 for something, $30 for something at these sample sales. Now, everything isn't that cheap, of course. I mean, but I picked up so many good things at sample sales. A ton of Alice and Olivia that I have in my Poshmark closet are like the remnants, is like what's left of what I bought 4 years ago before I came. I also sourced at Barney's New York warehouse sale. And that is the single most important place that I sourced in New York. And I actually, the one where I bought so much merchandise, it was the last 3 days of the sale. And at the sale, the prices were 75% off the original price to start with. And then as the sale went on, it'd be an extra 25 off and then an extra 50 off. Well, I got there the last 3 days of the sale when it was at an extra 75% off the 75% off price. So things are like 95% off or more the original price by this point. And so basically it's like free. I mean, it's not free, but like, where are you going to get, $1,500 shoes for $100? You're going to get it on the last 3 days of the Barney's warehouse sale. That's how. And I bought 63 pair of shoes. And I didn't buy as much clothes simply because there wasn't much left that I thought I could do anything with. So I did buy mostly shoes and boots, a little bit of clothing, a little bit of accessories, some luggage. And I'm still selling on some of those things all these years later, but most of it just sold out right away. I think Alaya boots I bought sold for about $850 right when I listed them, and I had paid around $100 for them. But Barney's New York has luxury brands and luxury goods, so that's what you're going to find in the warehouse sale. And everything doesn't go to the outlet. I mean, Barney's New York has outlets; they have them all over the country, but it's still not enough to purge the vast amounts of inventory that they have fast enough, which is why they have these warehouse sales to just get rid of a bunch of stuff really quickly. And the warehouse sales are men's, children's, home decor, women's, girls, just everything you can think of, shoes. And it's the single most important thing I've ever been to. As a matter of fact, when I first moved to New York, everyone was like, you got to go to the Barney's warehouse sale and be sure you wear an all black cat suit because there's no fitting rooms. And when I first went, it was simply to buy for myself. I mean, it never even occurred to me to resell, because when I first moved to New York 16 years well, it's 20 years ago now, I can't believe it. I had a regular job, and so the job that took me there paid plenty of money, so I didn't need to. I wasn't even thinking about reselling; wasn't even on my radar. It's something that I did later. So I would go to the Barney's warehouse sale to shop, not to source. But over time, and right before I left New York, I went into this warehouse sale. I just happened to go in, and like the prices were mind blowing, and they had so much inventory left. This is the thing: on the first day that they went 75 off, that place was packed with stuff, and I had them set aside all the shoes I wanted in a special corner in the store, because the way it worked is you found one shoe was on the rack, and then they had to find the mate in the shoe department. So as they would find the mates to it, they'd put everything in a corner for me. And in the end, it was a really big deal to check out. It was a really big, they had to get a manager involved. But then the funniest thing is it never occurred to me how I was going to get it home. So imagine my surprise with 2 days left of a warehouse sale that I've just bought 63 pair of shoes and I'm not sure I'm going to get them home. But fortunately, I met someone at the sale who offered his van and offered to help get my things home, which fortunately was about 10 blocks away. So that saved the day. This was before Uber, So I'm not sure what I would have done, but I would have figured it out. Oh, cool. We lived in Northern California. 2 hours north. Yes, we have very limited outlets. No, but thanks for sharing your haul with us. I'm not sure what okay. So I was a nanny in my younger years, and ladies I worked for used to go to IA and bought sample clothes. What is IA? I don't know what that is. What is IA? I'm not sure what that is. But yeah, I mean, sample sales are great. I mean, they have them here in LA. The only one I've been to two in LA, Rodarte and Trina Turk. But I really, because I'm working all the time, I haven't been able to get to them. What is Lynn? What is IA? She used to go to IA and bought sample clothes. I'm not sure what that was like. No idea what that is. But if I knew what it was, I could respond. But yeah, in New York, in addition to the sample sales and the Barney's warehouse sale, I would go to the Goodwill. I'd go to the Salvation Army. There was a number of independently owned and operated thrift shops all over New York. I would go to those, like the opera in town and the ballet in town. I think both had thrift shops where I found really incredible stuff. They were always very expensive, though. The stuff at the opera shops were just, I mean, it was so expensive. I don't know how they do that. Los Angeles. Okay. I would go to Crossroads, and I'd go to Buffalo Exchange, and on I think it's either 25th Street or 26th Street. There on one block is Crossroads, and you cross the block and you have Buffalo Exchange. And so I had a little path. And then around the corner was the Goodwill, and then up another corner was a thrift shop. So if I had time, I would go to all three. I'd stop at Crossroads on my walk. I'd hit the Buffalo, and then I'd go around to the Goodwill. And then the Whole Foods was near that. And if it was the opposite and I was at the Whole Foods, I would stop with my groceries at the Goodwill, at the Buffalo Exchange, and up to the Crossroads on my way home. And I really was in there every day. And as such, I mean, you would be amazed what gets in there. I was just amazed. And This was back when there was a consignment shop in New York called Second Time Around. It was a national change. They did go under, and before they went under, people would consign a little bit of inventory in a Crossroads, but not a ton. And when they went under, suddenly the Crossroads was just inundated with consignments because people didn't know where else to go. Even though there's a number of consignment shops in town, it did push a lot of people to consign at the Crossroads, which was really, really interesting. They had more. They had the place called. Oh, there was another place. It's a buy sell trade place, not Buffalo, but there was one other in town that was really popular. There were a number of consignment shops all over town. Now, also Loman's department store was in operation for most of my time in New York before they went out. I did. That's a wonderful place that I would go into the back room and look for things there. So yeah, absolutely. But yeah, sourcing in New York was so much better. I mean, like there were some consignment shops, one called Michael's Consignment Shop. If you ever get in New York and get a chance to go, they literally had like a wall of Chanel, just massive amounts of Chanel. There was never a shortage of Chanel at any of the thrift shops, I mean, consignment shops in New York. I mean, just everyone had tons of it. One reason, obviously, is that New York's climate is more conducive to these heavy boucle clothes. There's a lot of money in New York with Wall Street and a lot of finance money there, and a lot of society women who would wear their Chanel, but not too many times because they didn't want to be seen in it too many times. And so there's just a ton of it available. Unlike, I feel like there's a lot less Chanel that I've seen here in LA, and probably a lot of that is climate related. It's just, it's really hot here, and I mean, Chanel is these heavy wool and boucle jackets. I mean, this is not for LA weather at all. So I can see why there's a lot less of it here. Yeah, the second time around, they all went under. They went bankrupt. What's interesting is they had a couple of stores in New York that I would go to a lot, and what I noticed about them is that they were not online, and that's really one of the reasons they went under. Is that they were physical only, physical stores, when everybody was going online and they were still doing physical stores, and they kind of missed out on that online opportunity, and they really suffered because of that. So yeah, I mean, no one has really replaced them. I don't know of any chain like a second time around. Buffalo is buy sell trade, so that's different. Crossroads is buy sell trade, that's different. To me, there's nothing like a second time around right now. I'm sure that will change eventually, but mostly you have independently owned and operated consignment shops all around, and very few of them have more than one location. There's actually an organization, if any of y'all are interested in, called NARTS, NARTS. Um, and they are the trade association for the consignment and resale industry. They have their own annual conference that takes place. I know a lot of people talk about Posh Fest and they talk about eBay Open, but NARTS does have an annual conference. It is mostly geared toward people who have the traditional brick and mortar consignment shop. So be aware of that. If you've ever thought about opening one up, it's a great conference that you might want to go to. It is not, they have a little, I mean, obviously what they say applies also to online, but the last conference I went to, the online was not as much of a focus. I'm sure that's going to be evolving though. And they have a Facebook page and you can get more information on them there. Yeah. So yeah. So it's 59 minutes at the end of my time here. I think I've learned that I can talk about an hour, and that's plenty. I really appreciate all of you being on today. I hope something in what I said was interesting and helpful to you. Very interesting. Thank you so much for sharing. Enjoyed the hall and chat. Miss Lynn, see you soon. I thank you so much. I know it's late for a lot of you, especially if you're not on the West Coast. I My intention is to go earlier with the lives. I just haven't figured when I'm going to do that yet. Until then, you can always watch a replay. But anyway, this is Jenny Walker with Jenny Girls Closet. I really appreciate you being with me here tonight with my haul and chat about sourcing New York. I am a full-time reseller and co-owner of a luxury consignment shop with a storefront and three physical presence and on three e-commerce platforms, as well as my styling business here, where I work with artists and celebrities and costume designers and do that part of the business. So I'm sourcing from all different sides, everything from luxury to non-luxury. So it's really interesting for me to see everything from reselling to consignment and to kind of understand where everything fits in together. So thank you. It is Monday night. Have a good evening. Appreciate you being with me on Jenny Girls Closet. If you liked what you heard tonight, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't. And if you'll click the bell icon, it'll let you know every time I go live. So until the next time, have a good day and we'll see you soon.